Democrats, no surprise, have been all doom and gloom about this bill. Primarily, they say that millions of Americans are going to lose Medicaid. I know Republicans are saying, no, we're just tinkering with it to make sure we clean it up and get, able-bodied people with some work requirements. So would you like to just clarify, what exactly are you guys doing with Medicaid in this bill?
Yeah, it's really simple. We are actually securing Medicaid for the people who need it most.
Mr. Speaker, I found the preamble to this big, ugly bill. We, the billionaires, and our king, in order to deform and sicken our union, establish injustice, ensure domestic servility, weaken our people's defenses, undermine the general welfare, and reserve to ourselves and our posterity staggering debt servitude for eternity, do hereby instruct the Republicans in Congress to strip 17 million people of their health care, increase co-pays, deductibles, and premiums.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
So, do you want to see the difference? Well, while top Democrat Jamie Raskin is out here fighting for the American people, vehemently opposing a bill that is set to strip healthcare from millions of Americans, something the president had to be informed of, by the way, because, reading is pretty hard.
Exchange that happened today, reported by the outlet Notice, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it, because it, to me, kind of epitomizes everything about where we are. According to 3 sources with direct knowledge of the comments, this is Trump meeting with the holdouts. The president told Republicans at this meeting, there are 3 things Congress shouldn't touch if they want to win elections: Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. But we're touching Medicaid in this bill, one member responded to Trump, according to the 3 sources.
That same sitting president decided to resort to personal insult, calling Raskin ugly like he's Brad Pitt in Fight Club. Or Brad Pitt in F1, to be honest. Or Brad Pitt anytime, the man's a vampire.
Of personal privilege. Because the President of the United States tonight decided to attack you directly on his social media account. I don't have it in front of you. There were some very ugly words in front of me used about you. You may have seen it. But what is your response to Donald Trump? One of the things he said is, you don't understand this tax bill, and you never will. Is it possible, Congressman Raskin, that Donald Trump understands this tax bill better than you do, even though we have reports from the Oval Office that Donald Trump doesn't think that this bill is cutting Medicaid? That's what some Republicans have said about what he has said today.
Well, that's precisely how I think I upset him, Lawrence. I simply said, if the president is lecturing the Republicans that they should never touch Medicaid or Medicare or Social Security, he clearly does not know what's in his own bill. And I didn't lob that at him as an accusation, but simply as a statement, because he would not be saying those things if he understood that that's what their bill does. They're talking about throwing 17 million Americans off of their health insurance.
Trump took aim at the Maryland Democrat recently on Truth Social, not just insulting his appearance, but in the most ironic statement yet, claimed he has no idea what is in our fantastic tax cut bill, nor would he understand it if he did. Yes, this is from the man who literally had to be told about cuts to Medicaid days after the bill was already being voted on.
We're touching Medicaid in this bill, one member responded to Trump, according to the 3 sources. We don't know what Trump said back. What do you make of that?
Well, there's a lot of discussion on the floor about whether or not Trump really understands what's in this bill or not, and whether he's out of it. And the extraordinary thing about that is that, of course, all of these people have gotten in line despite their own misgivings, because Trump is leading the way, but Trump might not even understand what's in the bill. So it's a very dangerous moment when you think about what democracy is, and it doesn't speak well for what has become of the Republican Party. Now, some people think that, it's just Trump's devilishly clever politics where he's already distancing himself from a bill that he knows will be a nightmare, and then he'll blame it on somebody else for not having told him what was really in there. We don't know. But the point is that we should, as a society, be able to step back from this and say, look, if it's a great bill, let's take 2 weeks and explain to everybody how great it is. And if it's a terrible bill, let's get rid of it and let's start all over again.
So as usual with the president, it's all projection. But the back and forth came as the House GOP passed the, quote, big, beautiful bill that polls as well as the president does at the moment.
How do Americans feel about the big, beautiful bill?
Yeah, if we're talking about adjectives, how about they think it's awful, they think it's horrible, and to quote our colleague Charles Barkley, Terrible, terrible, terrible. What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look at the net favorable rating on the big, beautiful bill. I don't just got one poll for you, Omar. I got 5 of them, and the net favorable rating, minus 19 points, Washington Post, minus 20 points, Pew Research Center, Fox, minus 21, Quinnipiac University, minus 26, KFF, minus 29. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to know that when the net favorable rating of your bill is somewhere between minus 19 and minus 29 points, that it is not a positive bill as viewed by the American public. The American public at this particular point hate the big, beautiful bill. As far as they're concerned, it's not a big, beautiful bill. It's a big, bad bill.
And spearheading the opposition against it were prominent Democrats like Jamie Raskin, AOC, and Jasmine Crockett.
I think this is one of the saddest days in modern American history. This is the largest withdrawal and ending of health care in American history. 17 million people in our country, 17 million Americans in our country are going to lose their Medicaid. They're going to lose their ACA insurance. Small business owners are going to have their healthcare costs skyrocket. And people are going to have their SNAP and WIC cut back. People are going to go hungry. People are going to get sick. On a scale unlike anything we've ever seen. And all of it is just to finance tax cuts for billionaires and the wealthiest corporations who don't even need it. I don't think I've ever seen, I don't think we have ever seen or are prepared for how catastrophic this is set to be for a lot of people. And I think it's devastating. And they're talking about this as though it's some tax cut. Even the stuff that they're talking about, taxes on tips, no tax on tips, that's only for people, that's only up to $25,000. And if you're making less than that, you're already kind of exempt from a lot of these things in the first place. So they're giving people crumbs and they're taking away the whole loaf. And it's just a genuinely really sad day for our country.
What about Leader Jeffries' final message, looking ahead to 2026, 2028?
Well, you know, to Leader Jeffries' message, he's right. The best thing that we can do right now is press on. And in order for us to salvage what we have and to build through, we have to chart a new course and a new path to our future. And we have to make sure that there are consequences. If you're on Medicaid, if you're on ACA, if you are on Medicare and rely on Medicaid to help with your long-term care, there has to be consequences to these votes. And we have to decide if this is just a joke or just for TV or if this is our real lives. And I hope people vote like it's our real lives.
With Raskin posting on Twitter, quote, House Democrats have been 100% united in standing up for all Americans and saying no to the GOP's job-killing, healthcare-destroying, debt-exploding tax bill, before then going on to call it a, quote, tax scheme, which, yeah, it is. And as I said, while Raskin is out here fighting for his constituents, you know, to ensure that the most vulnerable Americans are not left without healthcare or any social security net, Trump attacks the appearance of his opponent when he looks like this, hoping that it is more of a distraction to take focus away from how drastic this bill is for the American people. But as we see with poll after poll, it's not working.
Donald Trump, the wannabe emperor, has no clothes, and the country knows it, and the polls now reflect it. As Trump's failures continue to pile up, the latest Fox polls show growing public frustration. And his worst numbers, believe it or not, are on an issue that Donald Trump ran on, the economy. Donald Trump is now down 30 points on inflation. 64% of registered voters disapprove of Trump's handling of inflation, and only 34% approve. 58% disapprove of how he's handling the economy overall, and 55% feel pessimistic about the economy. Then there's Donald Trump's foreign policy ratings. 57% disapprove of his foreign policy. The overall job approval rating from the Fox News poll is just 46%, which means that 54% of those that Fox News surveyed disapprove of Trump's overall job performance. And look, Donald Trump has seen these numbers and he is not happy. This morning, Trump took to his social media to lash out at the network, claiming that Fox has been, quote, biased against me for years. They are always wrong and negative. It's why MAGA hates Fox News, unquote. That is, news to some of us, but that is the kind of response we have now come to expect from the President of the United States.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.